Somebody tried to break in.
And we're back! Welcome to season 3 of J&D on the Road. We are so excited to have you back with us. In this season we're heading south to Mexico and Central America.
While we had a break from traveling, we had the chance to do a full overhaul on both bikes. We got valve adjusted, we got the sprocket to match the chains that we got in San Jose, of course oils and filters, and new tires. We're expecting a lot more of remote riding and unpaved roads from now on, so we wanted to make sure that the bikes were 100%.
We also had a chance to spend some time with Davide's brother in Los Angeles. Paolo and Marta, thank you so much for your hospitality. It was fabulous spending time with you and the girls.
But now it's time to get back on the road and start riding.
Ok, tanti baci ragazzi, buon viaggio!
We set off excited and just a little apprehensive. Neither Davide or I have ever visited Mexico or any of the Central America countries before. And we had received so many warnings about how dangerous Mexico could be and how we needed to be so careful for our safety and the safety of our bikes that we were feeling a little uneasy about our decision to go south. However, on our travels, we have always found local people to be incredibly friendly and helpful. And we decided we were going to use local knowledge to guide us on our path, plus make sure that we were never still riding at night. It took us about 2.5 hours of highway riding to reach the Mexican border. We had decided to enter through Tijuana and go down through Baja California, as it was supposed to be the safest route to miss out on the cartel activity in northern Mexico. The Tijuana border crossing is a large, busy border with multiple lanes of traffic all wanting to cross into Mexico. We followed the other bikers, slowed down by multiple speed bumps, and passed through security cameras. However, nowhere did we see any officials wanting to check and stamp our passports. Finally, the traffic started thinning out, and we spotted signs for places in Mexico. Hang on, we've already passed through the border and not got our passports stamped or bikes exported. So we pulled over just in time.
We nearly missed our spot. Ah well, nearly. We better go into the office and get these bikes sorted, exported into Mexico.
This, we think, is where we should have turned off. Not only did we need our passport stamped, but we needed to get a temporary import permit for the motorcycles, also known as a tip, to bring them into Mexico.
Did they let you in?
Yes, yeah. He took my FMM form, ripped it up, and gave me a new form that I had to pay another $33 for.
Yeah.
That's nice. So,
Welcome to Mexico.
So yeah, so I think
All done?
everything's okay.
Super.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mexico.
Oh, hey.
Let's go to
Ensenada.
Ensenada. Go straight and keep going.
that was a close call. We could have found ourselves at the bottom of Baja without the proper documents for entering the country, and that would have been a problem. Fortunately, disaster was averted, and we were officially in Mexico. The town of Tijuana was busy and chaotic, with traffic coming from everywhere. Within a few hours we had entered a different country, but it felt like we were in a totally different world. We spotted our first OXXO convenience store, which we were told was a reliable place for all-day coffee. Not great coffee, but on the road you can't be picky. We hit the coast and travelled to our destination for the night, Ensenada. And to celebrate our first night in Mexico, we went out and had the best Mexican meal I've ever had. Look at this. She made it fresh
right beside the table for us. Oh my god, it's really good.
We had to let him drive for Walker Drive. Well, you're special. Yeah, we're like.
Fresh homemade salsa, slow-cooked beef, stuffed chilies, and the biggest margaritas ever. So this morning we're leaving Ensenada and we're going to San Felipe, across the mountains on the other side of Baja.
One thing we were strongly advised was to make sure our bikes were stored in a locked car park overnight, and so we started choosing accommodations based on that.
We came up to our first military checkpoint, which we were told were really common in Mexico, and we were expecting to be interrogated and maybe even searched, but they were more concerned in commercial vehicles than two impeccably packed travellers on two modestly powered motorcycles, and completely ignored us. The region between Ensenada and San Felipe was quite sparsely populated, and despite being on a main road, we began to feel quite isolated. We started to wonder what might go on in these remote areas, and whether locations like this were where the stories of drugs and human trafficking occurred. Second checkpoint, still no interest. Third checkpoint, not even a word.
After being told by so many people how potentially dangerous Mexico is, I have to say that we were driving with 15 eyes open to make sure we could spot anything that looked suspicious. We had mixed feelings about the frequent encounter with heavily armed military road checkpoints. On one side, we were reassured by their presence, but on the other side, we were worried about the reason behind their presence.
After a fabulous day riding, we arrived in the town of San Felipe and went looking for our accommodation for the night.
We have arrived in San Felipe.
Yeah.
And this is our place for the night. We have a great car park for the bikes anyway, and it's secured.
Yeah. We're upstairs here.
Stairs are a little bit approximative, or and a few pipes, and yeah, a little bit missing, but nice piece of wood, very safe, just in case Jackie wants to jump off.
I think that's the fancy place across the road that I didn't want to pay for. So we have this one.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So we got this instead. And we were looking at... Somebody tried to break in. But it is a new lock anyway, so we'll be safe.
Perfect.
But in here, we have everything you ever wanted. Nice bed, big flat screen TV, table, kitchen.
Coffee machine.
We joked about the damaged door, but it made us question the location of our accommodation and the safety of our belongings if we were going out for food. So we decided to stay in instead. So let's settle in. And first of all, make a good cup.
Oh yeah, I had biscuits as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to respect traditions.
Oh yeah. So this morning we're leaving San Felipe and we're going to Catavina, but there's something really cool along the way that we're going to go drop in and see.
In the warm morning sun, everything felt safe and well again. And we were struck with how much sand there was everywhere. The roads were beautifully paved, but once off the road, there was deep sand. Which we soon found out about.
So we pulled over to check Google Maps because we weren't sure where we were going, and Davide's got a little bit stuck.
Very well. This sand get very deep very quickly as soon as you get off the roads.
But there's quite a lip to get up onto the road, so we're going to have to push him. Yeah. Exercise for the day.
That was easy.
Woo!
So don't get off the road. That's the learning lesson today.
Don't do this at home.
Stay on the road.
Our resolution didn't last long, and we soon found ourselves back in the sand.
Plenty.
Valle de los Gigantes, or Valley of the Giants, is situated a short distance outside the town of San Felipe and is an impressive forest of cardon cacti, the largest cacti in the world. It's reached by a sandy road, but the first part at least wasn't too deep.
Baja is a lot bigger than I expected to be. Mountain range down at the end of this. It's beginning to see some. There we are. Keep it on the left there and keep it running up. You have to come up this hill. There you go. There's a few weak stones. Nice.
It took us about 20 minutes of sandy riding before we reached the incredible giant cacti forest. They were absolutely spectacular. The massive cardons can only be found in Baja California and Sonora, and are capable of growing to heights of well over 60 feet and can weigh up to 25 tons. These spectacular giants grow slowly and can reach ages of up to 300 years. Despite our initial concerns and safety fears, we were delighted with the immediate difference in culture, food and scenery. And surrounded by sun, sand and unique massive cacti, we were thrilled that we had made the decision to come to Mexico and so excited for the adventures ahead.